back to sleep. If you don't sit down and make a realistic schedule as to how to balance your worldly duties with your religious ones, religion goes out the window. When I respect time, I take advantage of it. When I respect time, I understand that time is a valuable present from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has given it to me for a reason. Not so that I can simply waste it here and there, doing these pointless acts. Allah has given me time as a blessing so that I can serve Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And that's why if you understand how much strength and how much effort Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put into creating this universe, you'll be embarrassed to waste your time. We understand that Allah has created the skies and earth in how long? 6 days. Yeah, what does He say? He says, إِنَّ يَوْمًا عَنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. 1 day is 1,000 years equivalent to the 1 day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the skies and earth. Meaning what? Meaning Allah has put effort. Allah has created the skies and the earth for you, not for anybody else. He hasn't created the skies and the earth for the jinns. He hasn't created it for the animals. He has created it for you, O insan. So that when you're wasting a minute, when you're wasting an hour, you're not wasting simply 60 minutes. You're wasting billions of years that have been in the making to serve you. أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعْ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Allah says, aren't you embarrassed that when my name is mentioned, your heart doesn't begin to palpitate? الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. You should remember Allah constantly. Why? To understand the blessing that Allah has given you. Sometimes the human being becomes heedless, totally heedless. He walks around thinking that Allah is against him. He walks around forgetting the blessings that Allah has given him. That's why you find a man, he came to Imam al-Baqir to complain to him. Something happened to him. Imam wanted to make him aware of the blessings that Allah has given him and the fact that you shouldn't forget them. He comes to Imam alayhi salam. What does Imam tell him? He tells him, which blessing of Allah have you come to thank me about? What do you mean, Imam? The man was immediately embarrassed. He said, Allahu Akbar. Allah has given me the power of vision, the power of hearing, the power to smell, the power to speak. And I have the audacity to come to Allah and question His authority. Allahu Akbar. The human being becomes very heedless sometimes. When we come to Muharram, we try to put the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam into perspective. Because you have two kinds of love when it comes to love of Allah Abdullah al-Hussein. You have emotional love. He'll come to the masjid. He'll cry. He'll beat his chest. He'll wear black. Yet the minute he leaves the masjid, he forgets Imam Hussein, he forgets the mission that he came with. And then you have something that you call practical love. Practical. I love Fatima to Zahra. I strive to emulate how she looked. I strive to dress like her. I strive to act like her. I love Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He said, Hayhat min al-dhilla. He went against the oppressor of his time. He went against Shimr. Today, my job isn't to curse Shimr. Cursing Shimr is excellent. Yet my duty is to understand who the Shimr of my time is and to go fight him. This is my duty. Otherwise, Yazid has left. Yazid is 6 feet under. Go find him his bones. Shimr has left this world. My duty is to understand who the Shimr of my time is and to strive to bring him down to his knees. What does it mean to respect time? And number 4, how does time have an effect on my behavior? What's the effect of time on my behavior? Time is measurable. Time is measurable. Anything measurable is finite. Anything finite had a beginning, therefore it will have an end. When I understand time is limited, I become in a constant state of vigilance. I become in a constant state of awareness. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. You never know when death will come to you. I can leave this center, death comes and takes me. When I have this in mind, I'm constantly doing good. When I have this in mind, I'm constantly serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because I want to meet Him in the best forms possible. I want to meet Him with a pure soul. I want to meet Him, somebody who's worthy of meeting Him. There's a big difference of meeting Allah and somebody worthy of meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And not to take much of your time, yet my last 2 points is that when I know time is limited, what do? I strive to do something that will transcend the element of time. What do I mean? Imam Hussein alayhi salam was 57 years old when he died. Yet his mission has transcended time. His mission lived past the element of time. That's why you have this concept of sadaqah jariyah. Sadaqah jariyah is what? I pay, or I build a mosque, or I give donation, and if that donation is benefiting the people after my death, it still counts as ajr. Yani my discount, my income is still going up while I'm 6 feet under. This is sadaqah jariyah. I strive to do something that will transcend the element of time. And my last point, my dear brothers and sisters, is that I understand that time is a means and not an end. Meaning what? When we visit Imam Mehdi, what do we say? Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-asri wal-zaman. What does that mean? Peace be upon you, O master of age and time. What does that mean? Meaning this time is a means to reach Imam Mehdi alayhi salam. Time has been given to me so that I can strive and put all of my efforts and potentials and skills in one path, and that's to serve my 12th Imam, which in essence is serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's not forget, brothers and sisters, that Allah will ask us, I have given you this potential. I have given you skills. Why haven't you used it in my way? Why haven't you used it to serve me? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you. Whatever you do for the youth, if you're striving to get a degree, don't simply get a degree because it makes good income. No. Do something that's in correlation with your religion. And I point my fingers to the youth, because youth are the backbone of society. Youth are the foundation, the fabric of society. Imam Mehdi is going to come. He's going to be looking for new generations. He's going to be looking for people who have strong hearts, who have iman that is filled with the nur of Allah and nur of Muhammad and his family. That's why you find Muhammad. And that's why you find on the 10th of Muharram. And I conclude, the angels will question Allah. They'll tell him, Allah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam has just shouted, Ala hal min nasirin yansuruna, Ala hal min mu'aynin yu'aynuna. Can we go down to this earth and help Imam Hussein? He tells them, I give you permission. They go down to the land of Karbala. What do they find? They find that Imam has already been beheaded. They say, Allah, you have just given us permission to go and help Imam Hussein. He has already died. What's going on? What's the situation? Immediately he shows the nur of Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman. He says, بِهَذَا أَنْتَقِمُ لِهَذَا. He says, through this, I will revenge for this, but through time. But through time. And on a night like this, my dear brothers and sisters, Ahlul Bayt in general are remembering Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Imam Ar-Rida alayhi salam, whenever he would hear the lines of poetry being recited about Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, he couldn't handle it. On nights like this, anything that would happen to the family of Al-Muhammad, they would link it to the 10th of Muharram. Notice Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam, they come and they burn his house. They place the wood around his house and they burn it. He comes running out of the house crying. They tell him, Imam, do you cry out of fear? Why do you cry? He says, no, Allah, I don't cry out of fear. But when I see the house being lit on fire, and my sisters and daughters and women running from room to room, I remember the ladies of Aba Abdullah running from tent to tent. And that's why Imams, whenever a man would come to them, he would ask them, are you able to write poetry? They would tell him yes. He would tell them, then recite poetry about Imam Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Where Du'bul al-Khaza'an, this famous poet, he comes to one of our Imams and he recites to him these famous lines of poetry saying, أفاطم لا خلت الحسين مجدلا وقد مات عطشانا بشط فراتي أفاطم لو خلت الحسين مجدلا أفاطم قوم يا ابنة الخير واندبي نجوم سماوات بأرض فلاتي. May Allah help the heart of Zainab Salamullahi alayha. Zainab alayhi salam was a lady who was oppressed, who's oppressed to the utmost extent, but did she forget Allah? No, she didn't. When they were passing by the bodies of the murdered ones, after they were taken, while they were being taken as captives to the land of Sham, she passed the body of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. She said, "O Zayn al-Abidin, that is the body of my brother Hussein. Let me run to him. Let me farewell him goodbye one last time." He told her, "Amma Zaynab, irhami bi dha'fi badani. Amma Zaynab, irhami bi qillati hilati." She tells him, "Oh Zayn al-Abidin, I want to go to the body of Abu Abdullah." He tells her, "Oh Zaynab, have mercy upon my weak body. I cannot handle see you crying on the body of my father Abu Abdullah al-Hussein." أترجو أمة قتلت حسينا شفاعة جده يوم الحساب. إلهنا نسألك بفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها، إلا قضيت لنا حوائجنا جميعا والاستجابة الدعاء, for the answer of our prayers and for the acceptance of this humble effort. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it. Before Allah, salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.